VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. Just a recent finds video. Stuff that's come in since the last recent finds video. I haven't been doing as many videos or really kind of being that active at all here in the VC just because life has still just kind of been pretty busy. Projects, work, all that kind of stuff going. I mean, even the past couple weeks I haven't had an opportunity to stream with the Horsemen on the live stream, which has been really kind of disappointing because I love doing that with those guys. It's just kind of one of the highlights of my week. But again, hopefully things will calm down here in the next week or two and kind of get back to somewhat normal. But between working at the shop, picked up a few things there. Chance, Concert Buddy, one of the awesome guys here in the VC. If you're not familiar with him, make sure you go check out his channel and subscribe. Again, it's Concert Buddy. He texted me the other day and it's like, hey, are you going to the record show tomorrow? And I'm like, what record show tomorrow? And I didn't realize one of our local shows was the next day. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I think I'll go by there, but hadn't really planned on it, obviously. So I just kind of thought, I'm not going to worry about trying to get there early and, all that type of stuff. I'll just go really around lunchtime, like way after the initial rush, and just kind of, really just kind of hang out with the guys and that type of thing. Chat with all the people that, always see there. And so I went there pretty late, and it was still fairly busy, which was kind of nice. And I ended up finding some amazing stuff, like better than most of the shows that I experience when I go to this particular one. So yeah, let me just kind of just dive in and show you some of the things that I picked up. And some of the coolest things were some of these promos that I found. One being Stevie Nicks Belladonna. As you can see there, gold stamp track listing promo. Now this is not a white label promo, but it is obviously a promo. So that was a really cool pickup, especially for less than $10. This guy had a number of albums at his table that were already priced pretty low, and then when I walked up and he's like 50% off of everything here, and I'm thinking like, okay, wait, what's wrong with it then? So I'm pulling out the records and I'm kind of looking on both sides. There's no marks to even feel to see if there's scratches or anything. So I'm holding them up to see if they're warped, checking out the covers. Are there any seam splits? And I can't find anything. He just wants to sell these things for dirt cheap. So I picked this up for less than $10, which was really, really awesome. And then another one that I got from him was this one here, which is Big Brother and the Holding Company, featuring Janis Joplin. Their classic from 1967 with Bye Bye Baby and a number of other just kind of really great tracks, Down on Me and a few other things. But again, just kind of a radio station promo right there, which is pretty awesome. So that was a great find. Genesis, Trick of the Tail, same things you can see there. Another promotional sticker LP right there. This is a 1976 US pressing, so another just fantastic one. And even though, again, I have all these albums already, it's like, you can't pass up having the promos, especially for the price that he was asking for them. And so then there's another guy that I go to at this particular show where he's always the first table that I go to, like literally. Because number one, he always brings amazing stuff. And number two, he's one of the friendliest guys at the entire show, which is awesome. And he's always very willing to offer you, a deal on stuff, which is just my favorite guy at the show every single time. And so one of the things I picked up from him, as soon as I walked in the door, he was the first table I went to, and I picked up this, which is a Boston Japanese pressing. Again, you guys know this album, one of the greatest debut albums of all time. And I have a very nice OG pressing of it, but I've never owned a Japanese pressing, so I had to grab that. Beautiful condition, as you can see there. So great pickup. So I hit his table first, and then after walking around a bit, I hit another guy's table who was also a really great guy, and I'm kind of flipping through some of his stuff, and I see this sitting there, which is a Boston, as you can see there, tracking sticker promo. And the cool thing about this one here is that it actually is a white label promo, which was just awesome. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, there's no way I can pass this up. And even though I did, I actually left his table and went to look around, and I came back and I was like, I never looked it up. So I saw the price that he had on it, and so just kind of making up in my mind what I thought it was maybe worth. I made him a quick offer, and he was like, yeah, I'll take that. And so it's cool. So it was like it was a cool deal, whatever else. But when I got home and actually looked it up and priced it on Discogs, I realized that the price he had on it initially wasn't even half of what it was worth. And so I had negotiated down, but again, not knowing, I guess I just assumed it wasn't worth anywhere near what it actually was. So that ended up being kind of a good pickup there too, which was just fantastic, beautiful, beautiful piece right there, as you can see. So you don't see white label promos of those floating around too often. Then you have Patti Smith. This is Wave, still working on picking up OG copies of all her stuff, and Wave was another one that I needed. So that was a great pickup there from one of the absolute legends. That's her 1979 release. Apollonia 6, one of Prince's projects right around that same time with Vanity 6. Hadn't seen this album in quite some time, so it was really kind of nice to see. And even though it has like a little kind of part of the cover, the torn off right there, because with me, again, usually something like that would be enough for me to not buy an album. Like, that's kind of how anal I get these days. But at the same time, like I said, these don't pop up too often. The vinyl was in a very, very strong VG++ to almost excellent condition. So I thought, hey, I'll overlook that little piece this time. Because again, I don't see this album that often at all. And this is the one that has Sex Shooter and a few other things on there. So just kind of that classic Prince era back in '84. So very, very cool stuff there. I was very happy to get that one. The Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet, another great one here. I've never had a copy of the white cover here. I have the Toilet. I have that one, but I've never had an OG of this one. So I found a very nice copy there and decided to pick that up. And of course, you have Sympathy for the Devil, and again, the Stones. Just great stuff from 1968, and that's a US pressing. So beautiful piece there. Another one here, which is Blues Image Open. It was nice to find a beautiful piece here. I think it was is it Alex Has the Spins, I think it was him, and this was probably like 6-7 years ago or something like that. He showed this album in a video, and I went online and listened to it. I thought it was awesome, and then I found a copy that was a little bit rough, and so I've had a copy of this for a few years in my Finders Keepers pile, which is a little section in my collection that has records that aren't quite up to par and up to the condition that I would accept in my collection. So they stay in their own little section until I find, excellent copies to actually bring into my collection. So this had been sitting in my Finders Keepers for quite some time until I stumbled across this one the other day at the record show. So, it's a very, very beautiful copy of that, and just a fantastic, fantastic album. So if you're not familiar with this one, definitely make sure you go check it out. And of course, this is always hard to find in good condition because, that black cover, just, how those things go. But yeah, this is their 1970 release, just kind of some good, I guess it's kind of bluesy, psyche, kind of mixed in together. But yeah, really, really cool stuff there. So that was a great find. Let's see here. Next we will go with, let me dig. Hey, let me do it like this. A couple of cool pieces I got from the shop. I picked up this one last week, which was Harold Vick, Stepping Out. Just another one of those awesome Tone Poet releases. Just like all the others, fantastic. Sounds great. Another kind of legendary album right there. So that was a great pickup. And week before last, when I was at the shop, I grabbed this one here, which was Grant Green, Feeling the Spirit. Just one of the awesome jazz guitar players. And another just beautiful Tone Poet pressing. So those were awesome. And I guess kind of random stuff here. Let's see. MC Shan, Born to Be Wild, another great pickup from the show. Kind of some old school hip hop right here. This is from 1988. Back in the day where, anytime you see a Kangol on the cover or you see someone smiling or halfway smiling, that's usually a great indication of it's probably going to be a hip hop album or the period of hip hop that I really love so much. And this MC Shan is kind of a perfect example of that. So that was a great pickup. And one that got me so excited, it was one of the ones where when I was digging through the stacks, I actually let out a yes when I actually saw it. That doesn't happen for me very often. And it's not even because it's a valuable record at all. It's just one that I have wanted forever. And it is the Boogie Boys, City Life. And the main reason I wanted it is because it has that awesome track, A Fly Girl, on there. I mean, just one of the early tracks of hip hop that just, I can remember going back to like 6th grade where my friends and I just played that to no end. It's from like 1985. But yeah, when I saw that in the stacks, and again, even though there was some ring wear down there and a little bit of corner wear here, I just kind of thought I have never actually pulled one of these out in the wild like ever. And the record was in fantastic condition, so I went ahead and grabbed it. But yeah, that was the first thing I played when I got home that day. So just great old school hip hop, and I was so pumped to find that. And it was only $5 too. So I mean, it's like when you can get that excited about stumbling across a $5 record, it's like yes. So I was really excited to get that in the collection. Found this sealed copy of Berlin. This is Count 3 and Pray, and of course this is the one that has Take My Breath Away on there, which was made so popular through Top Gun from 1986. And my girls that I've really been getting into lately. I think the last video I showed a pickup by them, but the Pointer Sisters, Black and White. Another one of their classic albums here, and this is the one that had Slow Hand on it, which was a huge hit for them back in 81, 82. And then this one was also just a great find, which is Pointer Sisters Contact. This has this song Dare Me on it, which is my absolute favorite Pointer Sisters song. And I remember discovering Dare Me through, I saw the Harlem Globetrotters one time, and all the different bits that they have. And one of the things that they do is when they take the lady's purse, right, and they're kind of going through her purse, and they open up the wallet, and like all of them are looking at her wallet, and they start laughing by saying she only has $2, and so then they put all the stuff back in the purse, and then like Sweet Lou Dunbar was the one that did it. I'd never forget that. He's walking back over with the purse to give it back to the lady, and he's like, "Come on, I'm sorry, let me give you." And so he has her get out of her chair and take a couple of steps to get her purse. And right when she gets ready to grab it, he hands the purse to a teammate and takes her hand, and then music kicks in. He just starts dancing, trying to get her to dance along with him. And she jumps right in and starts dancing. And then he grabs a guy and he starts dancing. But anyway, I remember that being such a funny moment, but the song they played that they started dancing to was Dare Me by the Pointer Sisters. So every time I hear that song, like, it just takes me back to that moment of how much fun I had, watching that bit and experiencing, the Globetrotters and all of that. And so just another one of those ways that music kind of, connects us with all those memories and everything. But fantastic album right there, and absolutely love that I found a great copy of that. Little Belinda, another great one there. This was kind of an upgrade copy from the one that I had, because the one that I had a little bit of ring wear there, but when I found that just beautiful, perfect cover, it was only $5, I had to go ahead and upgrade that. But her classic, release from 1986, I think this was her first solo album after she left the Go-Go's, I believe. Mad About You, and, just Belinda, just cuteness. I love that album cover too. It really is great. I would love to have that autographed by her. Another one that I've spent so much time trying to find an excellent and near mint copy of, which is The Best of Mountain, Mississippi Queen, all that great stuff. Just kind of, great classic rock right there. And just finally found a beautiful copy of it, which was nice, because I've been through a couple trying to get one. Elton John, another classic there. This is his 1970 release. Again, not much to say about that, because you guys know that album very well. It's just a beautiful near mint copy. And then we had these cool reissues that came out, which is Prince The Hits. Took them long enough, but definitely glad they finally got around to it. This is the Hits 1, as well as you have the Hits 2. I mean, I used to play these CDs all the time. So great to see you finally had this on vinyl. And this has basically everything you would expect, you know, stuff from his early stuff like Controversy, Dirty Mind, I Want to Be Your Lover, Delirious, Little Red Corvette, I Would Die For You, Raspberry Beret. Kiss, of course, You Got the Look, Sexy MF, Cream, Purple Rain. I'm just reading some of the hits, I'm not reading all the tracks. When Doves Cry, I Feel For You, When You Were Mine, Uptown, Let's Go Crazy, 1999, I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man, No One Compares to You, Alphabet Street, Sign of the Time, Diamonds and Pearls, 7. And again, those aren't all the tracks. Those are just some of kind of the major hits that we tend to know about with Prince. So if you don't have any other Prince in your collection, these two alone would make just kind of a very nice 1-2 punch with a good representation of his early catalog. So Maroon 5, Song About Jane, another one I've been meaning to pick up for quite some time. You know, good album with songs like This Love, She Will Be Loved, which I think is kind of a fantastic song. Definitely one of those albums and one of those groups that I think kind of a love them or hate them type of thing. Because if you like them, it's great stuff, which, you know, stuff like She Will Be Loved, I think is a fantastic song. But if you don't really like him or you're not really in tune with his voice and vocal delivery and stuff like that, it'll really kind of work your nerves and make you hate him even more. It's one of those kind of things. It's like you like Bob Dylan or you don't like Bob Dylan. You like Neil Young or you don't like Neil Young. You know, some of those things are kind of you have to have a very acquired taste for it, and I think that album is one that definitely falls in that category. Not in the category of Dylan and Neil Young. I mean, don't mistake that, but the category of an acquired taste for liking or not liking his vocal delivery. The new Stryper, another one here, The Final Battle, another great album. Haven't listened to this one all the way through yet, but I mean, Stryper just seems like all the new stuff they've been putting out lately, it's just been pretty fantastic. Like they're harder than they used to be back in the day, in my opinion. And it's just they've been putting out really great stuff. I wish they would. I won't say that. We're just gonna leave it at that because Stryper's awesome. And then the last, I got 4 more here. The new Brown Acid, the 15th Trip. You know, I love collecting all of these. I'm still missing the 5th Trip. I still need to get my hands on a copy of that, but I have all the other ones, and so the 15th just came out, and haven't listened to this yet, but out of the 16 that I have, because there's 2 greatest hit ones as well, I have yet to be disappointed by a single one. Just a fantastic compilation, which is what I can point to it over there. What that is right there is a box set with the first 10 trips that still needs the 5th one. Warrant, Dog Eat Dog, you know, another awesome release by Music on Vinyl. You know, this is one that definitely is not floating around out there in OG copies. Actually, I don't know if it was ever pressed on vinyl or not. But yeah, you know, some more great and maybe kind of one of the more lesser known Warrant albums. So that's cool. It's kind of on a marble yellowish kind of vinyl. And the last 2, another one I've been wanting for quite some time, which is Lionel Richie, the Definitive Collection. Even though I pretty much have every single song on other greatest hits albums and his studio albums and everything else, this was a Target exclusive, I believe, and I just wanted it, kind of plain and simple. So I was in a store in this small town that I go to sometimes, and there's a little store there, and he just oddly happened to have a used copy there, which was awesome. So it's just a nice 2 LP set, and again, just kind of with all of the hits that you would expect from Lionel Richie. You know, so fantastic 2 LP set right there. And last but not least, a nice Sepultura reissue here, which is Nations. So that just got repressed, which was very cool. This was their 2001 release. So it was nice to finally have that on vinyl on 2 LP. Very cool stuff there. So, as you can see, a nice little handful of things that have kind of come in there. Freaking 20-minute video. But, yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that really quick, VC. And as always, let me know what you guys think. And we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.